I started this new hardcore world to get better at building and create some of my most immersive builds yet. So today, not only am I doing some much needed progression in this world, I'm also creating one of my best builds ever, a cozy animal barn to get all the food I'll ever need and also fill up my pantry as it's getting a little empty. So if you're excited for this new episode and this brand new series, make sure to like and subscribe to help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers. Picking up where I left off last episode though, I started to map out the starter base a bit, and to get a head start on a main food source in this world, I collected some cows from this field and brought them back near the starter base, where I just stuck them in the sheep pen for now. I also wanted some leather and food, so I went in the opposite direction and started killing some more cows as I wanted to make item frames to frame the map that I made of the starter base. Technically this map is facing the wrong way, but this is the starter house right here where I'm at, and this is the path that leads down, got a couple trees right here, and I want to update this map at the end of every single episode to see how the world grows over time. I also wanted to go on another mining trip, this time with the main goal of finding enough diamonds to completely gear up with full diamond tools and armor. I found a cave that went pretty far down and had a pretty good feeling it would get me to deep slate level where diamonds are, but I realized I didn't bring a water bucket with me, so I went over to this lake where I found a dead villager and stuck him in a boat for later. Jumping into the cave, it didn't take me long at all to find the first diamonds, and this single vein gave me 17. With the diamonds that I already had from back home, I decided it was best to fully gear up in diamond armor before I hit the rest of the cave. This gave me the confidence to mine up some iron and gold, but that confidence was quickly shattered as I found the deep dark, which I was hoping to avoid. I mean, this was a genuinely terrifying experience. Pushing further in the cave, it didn't take me long to find another vein of diamonds, which brought the diamond total for this mine to 31 from just the 2 veins. I also got pretty lucky and uncovered some more diamonds underneath this bit of lava. What's not so lucky is the fact that this entire world's caves are completely covered in deep dark, which makes for a less than pleasant experience. I got all the diamonds I wanted for now and went back up to the surface where I made the rest of my diamond tools. With me being nearly level 30, I had the urge to get some more XP, so I grabbed some obsidian, made some flint and steel, and went into the nether for the first time, where I immediately spotted a bastion. I had the bright idea to head over there and loot the thing, but if you know anything about bastions, you know they have piglin brutes, and I think they might be able to take down the ender dragon in 2 hits. There's a chest right there that I see, but I also see a piglin brute, which would probably end this world in about 2 seconds. So I'm going to be a little bit careful here. Ideally, I find a way to kill these guys by just like farming them. I think trapping them in an area would be the best bet. So I did what anybody would do, and I locked them in a hole with some netherrack and looted a couple chests. The first chest was pretty underwhelming, but the second one had an upgrade template and a single piece of ancient debris. With the loot acquired, I started mining quartz to get myself up to level 30, where I decided to enchant a pair of diamond boots. I wanted feather falling, but I still thought these were pretty good. I went back into the nether to hit level 30 again and went back home. With those levels, I enchanted a pretty good helmet, where I went back into the nether again and kept going back and forth between the nether and overworld, hitting level 30 and enchanting up all of my tools and armor to feel a bit more comfortable in this world. I enchanted a pretty good axe and some leggings, hit level 30 again and enchanted myself a diamond pickaxe, went back into the nether and got myself an infinity bow and a sharpness 3 diamond sword. I killed a few ghasts, then took their babies and freed them. I went back to the nether one last time and fixed up some of my gear. After a couple of hours of hard work, I'm feeling much more comfortable. Last episode, I built this bridge with the stream that goes down the hillside, but the stream doesn't connect to anything at the bottom, so what I'm doing right now is lowering the hill on the other side of the bridge to make room for a small pond at the end of the stream. Before I could continue lowering the hill, I had to remove even more oak trees as I conveniently set up base in a forest, so on top of all of the terraforming I'm doing is a ton of trees and leaf litter, which makes the process take a little bit longer and fills up my inventory a little bit faster. But to help myself out, I enchanted a shovel with efficiency 4 and started slowly bringing down the land, where now I'm carving out some of the land even more to create a shape for a pond, adding in a custom rock and filling in the space with water. And of course I want to give the pond a deeper and darker look to it, so I began water bottle spamming and then bone meal spamming to give it some more movement. Now that I have this little pond done, I do have one detail that I want to add. For this, I'm going to need a little bit of spruce wood, some oak trapdoors, and some lightning rods. I want to add a kind of tipped over cart right here, so I'm going to use some stairs. Oh my god, I forgot about that guy. I'm going to use some stairs though, and that'll kind of give the cart shape. And then if I put some trapdoors behind it like that, I think a couple lightning rods facing out like that would look good. And then to add in some wheels, I'm going to add in a couple oak trapdoors like that. And in fact, this one can be 1 block higher because I can add like a little root right there or some hanging moss or something. And then I'll add the moss carpet up here with some pressure plates up there. I don't even know why, just for some detail. And I've had this idea of using cactus flowers as a kind of dead looking plant, like it grows on things that are dead. So I'm going to add in a few cactus flowers over here as well. One of my favorite ways to make any build look better is to fit it into the environment. For me, this is as simple as spamming some tall and short grass and a few ferns to make the area look overgrown. I also added in a fence to close off the area, and in general, I wanted to give this area a really overgrown, naturey vibe. As much as I want my builds to be immersive, I think the best way to do that is to put them in a space that feels realistic. So with a bit of effort put into the pond, I think this area looks much better. I also want to add in a bit of leaf litter here along the path to make it look a little bit more dirty. I mean, I have a ton of leaf litter, so I'm gonna start sprinkling some of this around the area to make this area look a little bit more alive, or I guess dead. So I sprinkled a ton of leaf litter along this path. I put a ton under this tree, and I think just the tiny detail makes this area look a lot more interesting. I also put a ton kind of falling out of this cart. Maybe it looks like some food or something in the cart got spoiled. I don't really know, but I thought it was a cool touch. I'm getting ready to start on the main build for this episode, but there's still a lot left to do to the area around where I want to build today. So right now I'm extending the path I made a bit more, splitting it off in 2 directions, one going through the valley, which is where I'm going to be building today. I also began removing more trees from the forest, but just like last episode, I don't really mind, as it's filling up my inventory with a ton of oak and birch wood, which I will use later for building. The trees aren't the only problem though, as I have to bring down this hill as well, so after getting rid of even more of the forest, I also began lowering down the terrain. This area wasn't really suitable for building, so I had to spend another couple hours lowering down the land to give myself room to build. Now I have even more terraforming done. I've completely flattened this area out, and I even have the floor of the barn put in. With the terraforming finished, I am now ready to start gathering materials for the barn, which takes me a few blocks away into the spruce forest, where there is a pretty small mega taiga within it. There's not a ton of blocks to get this episode, but I'm going to need pretty much this entire forest worth of wood to account for the nearly 800 spruce fences I need, and of course a few trapdoors and signs. After collecting the spruce wood, I dug up some podzol to use as a darker dirt block, and began stripping down some of the spruce logs to use for the barn, and some custom trees, as well as some hanging signs. And I began crafting down the entire inventory worth of spruce wood I got into every single wood variant block you could possibly think of. I chopped down a few jungle trees, then went underneath the base into the mines once again to mine up some tuff, which I was mainly going to use for custom trees as well. Going back up to the surface into some water, I placed a ton of dirt, converting that all into mud, as I needed mini stacks of packed mud for the barn, and again mainly custom trees. I've only spent a few hours gathering materials, but I'm pretty much done, as most of the material gathering was spent just digging through my chests and crafting everything down. So now I am finally ready to begin construction on this barn. Now the main blocks I'm going to use is going to be a little bit of tuff for the base, along with some mossy cobblestone and normal cobblestone, where for the second level I want to use a bit of birch wood, mushroom stem, and diorite. And the roof is going to be some more of those warm tones, which will feature some mud brick, granite, and some jungle wood. So this will be the main color palette. To start this barn off, I want to add in some spruce and oak pillars, and then I want to go every 3 blocks and continue to add those in, with a bit of those tough bricks, tough, and mossy cobblestone in here, just like that. So I'm just going to continue adding these, again going every 3 blocks, all the way to the edge of the build. Now these are going to be 4 windows right here, as I wanted to leave this side of the barn open, but I want to grab some spruce trap doors, and I'm going to put them on the top of this to make a window, and then it's going to go along this way as well. I have mirrored the exact same thing on this side, except I want to do something just slightly different. I'm going to create a little barrier here along this side of the build, and I'm going to place barrels occasionally with some spruce planks kind of in between them. And this will give us a slightly different texture compared to the normal spruce plank, as it kind of has a weird fancy looking, kind of polished look to it. And now it's looking pretty good, but I can go through here and add in a little extra detail here using some spruce and jungle signs. So now I think that looks a little bit better. Going around to the back side, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did for the walls, adding in some spruce planks in between them and completing it over here, where I want to put in a door right here, and this will be about 3 blocks tall. I'm going to use some spruce trapdoors, and I'm going to top it off with some spruce stairs. So inside of the barn, you're going to have an exit out this way, where I am going to put a cow field right here, but I can get to that later. Where now I can jump up here and start building up some of those walls. Now for this space, I actually do want to add in a window, but right here I can make some window shutters using some spruce trapdoors. This one will be on the side of this block as it's going to look a little bit more open. And I wanted to use some fences for this window. It's not really a window block that I use normally, but I think it looks pretty good here. Now up here, I'm going to add in another spruce trim using the barrels. So I'm going to use the temporary diorite blocks, and this angle is a little bit harder, so I'm going to place another temporary block. And I'm going to do that the same thing for these sides as well. Going up even further, I'm going to add a couple more oak logs, and I'm going to create another pretty big window here. So I'm going to place some oak trapdoors along the sides. And I'm going to place in some trapdoors here to act as window shutters once again. We're now along the back side of the barn. There's just one more detail that I want to add in. And that, of course, is going to be one of these kind of basic looking lift things using a grindstone and some chains that'll go down to about here, where I want to use a spruce trapdoor and some oak trapdoors going around it, where I can close all of those. And it looks like maybe a little basket or something can carry up like hay or something up there. I'm not even sure what they're used for. Also, this guy doesn't have any good trades. He sucks. He has a bucket of water. That's about it. Going around to the front of the barn, I started building up a big barn entrance using some spruce trapdoors and stairs. I continued up with the birch, diorite, and mushroom stem, adding in another cross section using some barrels and more oak logs, creating another window at the top, and finally adding in some details using more signs and hanging signs, where now I'm getting started on a warm roof design, which uses the exact same block variation as I did on the starter house, as I find it much better to not switch up the roof designs too much within a certain region. And now we have the base of the barn done, and I just realized there's 2 different wandering traders here. I think this is the one I already traded with. No, it's not. This is a new one. And he also doesn't really give me anything I really need. I mean, some lily pads could look cool. And yeah, now we got some lily pads in here. It's perfect. So thank you, sir. He's looking at the grass. He's very happy. With the barn done, I wanted to add in some smaller details, so I'm getting started on the front of the build by adding in a fenced-in area where I want to start detailing. Now that I'm adding in some smaller details, I want to add a place right here as kind of like a water trough for horses that would travel through here. This guy's very interested in it, so I'm going to fill it up with some water. And I want to fill up this space right here that I left open with some podzol to make it look like a kind of like composty area. And to give it a border, I'm going to use some spruce trapdoors like that. Now right here, I want to add in a chicken coop. Starting it off with some spruce fences, I want to put some spruce trapdoors on top of those with some jungle trapdoors underneath. Now I just need to go around with some more trapdoors to close the build off. And I was thinking for the roof, I'll just use some spruce slabs and I'll mix in some of the campfire blocks. And I think that looks pretty good. Now I was thinking for up here, I'll go ahead and grab some rails. Of course, making it look like it can go up here with a step, and I'll close that off. I don't think there is a way for any mobs to exit this place, but if I put a trapdoor like that, now I really don't think there's a way for any chickens to get out, but I'm going to need some eggs to throw in here, because I do definitely want some actual chickens to be in here. Going around the back, I added in this small section here to act as maybe some more storage here with the barrels, campfires, and then I put some potatoes and some wheat right here. And I even put in this like wheel, as maybe this is part of a wagon that came through here or is owned by the people that own the barn. Now I'm going out here to the front to add another small detail here, which will just be a street sign to point in certain directions. So this will kind of show what's going to go this way, and then this will kind of show what's going to go that way. And eventually, once I name places, I'm going to have these kind of sprinkled throughout the world, and I think they'll look pretty cool. Going in the interior, I am doing a little bit of work here. I added in this section going up top where there will just be some more maybe like hay storage or something up here. And then up here, I wanted to do something pretty cool. Now this is going to require a couple leads. This was not like scripted. They have leads. They didn't even fight back. That's actually kind of brutal, to be honest. Now I'm also going to need some bamboo as well. And I'm going to put a couple bamboo rafts here. And I'm going to attach leads to both of them. And I'm going to need a spruce fence. And I want to place the spruce fence right there and attach both of the boats to it. This looks a little bit weird where they are right now. So what I can do is actually move the rafts in the location that I want the lead to go. And then we can see what this looks like from the outside. And I think that is a very slight but very cool detail. I want to start more decorating, but I also wanted to use pale moss. So I went on a trip over to the Pale Garden. Well, I'm traveling through the forest right now, and I've come across this little bandit camp right here. And I guess this is a good time. Well, I guess I can release this iron golem here. And maybe there will be something of value in here. There is actually the sentry armor trims up here, some bottles of enchanting, and that's really about it. There is some allays over here. Wait, that's actually really cool. They also have like an insane amount of scarecrows over here. That's kind of wild. But I think it's going to be a big enough biome to where I can farm the materials after I get up there. I will say it would be absolutely amazing if I could get this like atmospheric effect in like a larger space. These biomes are so small, but I love how like gray it makes the sky look. I think that'd be so cool. Going back home with the pale moss, I started building up some custom rocks near the right side of the barn and decorated a bit more with some grass and ferns. Going around to the left side of the barn and doing the exact same thing, also adding in a gazebo looking thing for some extra hay storage. And what I can do for this build right here is I can actually add some vines to it and use a bit of string to stop it from growing further. And there's another wandering trader? What? He has small drip leaf. That's pretty cool. It's like everything I build in this episode, there's just a wandering trader that spawns to investigate it. Got 10 more small drip leaf though, and that's pretty cool, I guess. And there it looks like it's overgrown. Why is everybody investigating this build? I don't know what it is. I'm hoping the mobs like this one as well, as I'm building up some small horse stables alongside the main road. Now all I have to do is lead my horse and put him in here. And I think I will put my horse in here for now. And now he's in here. And I think I want to get a couple other horses to put in here before the end of the episode. I also wanted to start working on the interior of the barn as it's looking a little boring. So I started gathering and crafting down a few materials I needed to use for decoration. Going into the interior now, the first thing I want to do is I want to place some barrels right here, and I want to use this side of the oak trapdoor texture going up, and this will look like a ladder. It won't actually be a ladder, as I want to place some spruce signs going on every single trapdoor. And this, it looks like a ladder. Now I did want to add a decorated pot right here with a campfire, and I'm going to extinguish it. And then over here I can also add some campfires, of course extinguish those, and add some spruce trapdoors going up, and then I'll add a couple more campfires as well. Now over here I want to add a little pen. I don't know what animal will go right here. Maybe some pigs, maybe some more sheep will go in here. I want to add some podzol underneath it. This is a very underutilized block for me anyways, so I'm going to try to use it a little bit, especially in this build. I think it fits the area quite nicely. Now I did also want to add another animal pen right here, so I'm going to add some podzol here as well, and I need one more. Let me just grab one. I don't think any animal can get out of here with the trapdoor being right here. So if there is pigs in here, I don't think they can jump over this. Now to add a little bit more detail in here, just go ahead and put some short dry grass in there. I went ahead and added some tripwire hooks around here, and I also added this shelf right here with like a hanging bucket looking thing right there, and I think it looks pretty cool. And oh, I have to extinguish that campfire. Yeah, that would be weird to have it running, to have it burning that entire time. I also want to add a bunch of hanging signs in here because I think they look pretty cool. For this one though, I want to add a tree in there, a little sapling, and then you can attach the hanging signs to the flower pots. And I switched it out for a jungle sapling. I think that looks a little bit nicer. I went ahead and added some more detail as I finished it up in here, adding this like hanging sign thing across the top with the bamboo. I think the touch of yellow definitely fits the barn vibe and also looks pretty cool. Added in a nice little bell, some few extra bits around here as well. That rhymed. I was hesitant to say it because I knew it was going to rhyme. It sounded a little weird. Going up here though, I also added some more storage here with some hay bales, some more barrels, and some pots. But I am really loving the inside of the barn. I think it looks so cool in here. With the barn being mostly finished, the only thing left to do is to add in some custom trees, so I went over to the forest nearby and gathered up a ton of oak leaves, as I already had a lot of the other leaves left over from last episode, but I did need a bit of moss and short grass, and then I started building a couple tall oak trees on either side of the barn to really frame it within the road. And yeah, custom trees, adding foliage to builds might be my new favorite thing. I absolutely love doing this stuff. But these custom trees are a little bit more unique than any custom tree that I've built recently, in that they're a little bit thicker at the trunk. I wanted to go for something that had like a wider canopy. I think these look a little bit more realistic than some of the other trees that I've built before. And I especially like this one. This one is very tall, very grand right here to enter this part of the world. Now I want to grab some more spruce fences and a bit of coarse dirt, and what I want to do is create a big cow field right here for some cows to breed up and eventually kill for a food source. The main goal for this episode from the start was to fix my food problem, so right now I'm creating a big cow field using some spruce fences and fence gates, and adding in some bushes using some leaves, and then giving the cows a pretty comfortable space to live in before they eventually meet my sword and get stuffed into a smoker for consumption. With there just being one pretty important detail that I want to add in here, and that is some cows. And honestly, these cows in here are a little boring, so what I want to do is go over there and collect some of the colder cow variants, and maybe even some pigs and chickens if I can find them as well, as I just find the other variants of the cows, the normal variants that have been around for many years, to be a little bit boring now. I want to get the cold variants of every animal because I think they look the best, and I'm just going to use this as a time to talk about how awful it is that they didn't do anything with the sheep except change the way that they spawn and make their faces look weird. I don't like it. If you know this channel, that's very, very rude. But those guys up there, I think, look absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go get that guy up there, and hopefully there's some more cows. This guy, though, in particular, is up here. So let me grab him. It seems like he's alone, though, which doesn't make any sense. They should spawn in, like, packs. I don't know what a group of cows is called, a herd. I don't know. Now, since I didn't find another variant of this guy, or I guess another of this guy, I want to see if I can breed a normal cow with him. Let me see if I can lead this single guy through here. Oh, that was actually easy. Okay, experiment time. What are you guys going to create? My guess is it's going to be the normal cow. Yeah, kind of figured. I think I'm going to have to get another one of those guys. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but sorry. I'll deal with this mess later. It's time to find another cow. Hold on just one second. Please tell me this is a skeleton spawner. It's a zombie spawner. Good source of XP though, and this is in like a very interesting location. This is right under the village, dude. They spawn trapped them. Got some music discs in here. And a looting 2 book is actually kind of nice. Definitely going to be pretty useful to make an XP farm, maybe next episode. I don't want you! Get out of the pack! Leave! That was maybe a little bit dramatic, but it's fine. Don't even think about it, man. Don't even think about it. I got these guys in here, though. I'm going to start breeding some of them up, and this will be the new cow over here. I think it just looks like this is so much more interesting than just having those guys. With the new cows brought over, I had an idea for a little cow cart to put just outside. Don't mind the enchantment table, but I think this is honestly one of the cooler looking cart slash wagon designs that I've made. It'll look better once that's a little bit more oxidized, but what I want to do is put the cows right here, and I can actually lead them to a fence so they stay here. And I'm going to take 2 of them and take them out here. I think I took the little one's mother. I think this is his mom. Stay in there. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not too sorry, because these are actually going to be the only 2 cows in this area that just won't die. Perfectly, I can lead it to that, and I'm hoping the cow just stays there, and it looks like it could be pushing this cart. This actually is kind of perfect, because the cows, for some reason, don't really want to move from where they are leaded. So it kind of looks like they're pushing it. It's a little weird, but I think I'm going to keep it. With that being said, I want to create some more leads and get some more animals over here. So I'm going to try to find the cold pig variant and the cold chicken variant and bring them over here to the barn. Okay, there's something about trying to find animals that just makes me find dungeons. There's another one up there. Now, within the next 3 seconds, you guys have to comment what spawner this will be. Skeleton, spider, or zombie spawner. My guess is zombie spawner. It's zombie again. Ah! Okay, this one has a couple golden apples, but nothing good. But it's nice to know that this is here, I guess. It turns out finding the cold variant of an animal isn't the easiest thing in the world, but these villagers already had a couple pigs locked up, so I brought them back over to the barn and stuck them in a pig pen. And I could not find a cold chicken. I guess they went extinct in my world, so I just got a normal old chicken and brought him back home. This guy's a parkour legend, I guess. That was crazy. So now we have some chickens, we got some pigs in here, we got some cows outside, and now I just need to find some donkeys, some sheep, and probably a couple horses. I have no idea where I'm going to find any sheep, to be honest. This might be tough. So now we have some sheep in here, and now I want to grab some horses. And I think over here we'll have, it definitely has horses. I might find a donkey over here, I'm not sure. It was quite a pain, but I got a donkey in here and another horse, and these 3 horses in here. And now, minus these cows flipping out, I think this is a very successful episode. This area looks really amazing now. With all of this building done though, I think this is probably one of the most immersive parts of any world that I've ever made. We got animals everywhere, we got foliage everywhere. It's just truly amazing. I think this is the most detailed part of any world that I've ever had. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I think I have a pretty big project that I have planned for next episode.